Hi, before I start section 8.3, I just want to tell you that section 8.3 talks about a claim about a mean, and there's two different parts. There's a part where sigma is unknown, that's a t-test, and there's the part where sigma is known, which is a z-test. This is very similar to the confidence intervals from chapter 7. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go through a homework problem number 22. So the difference between this and the previous section is, again, the claim will be about a mean. Okay, so I'm going to follow the same steps as listed here. So just so you know when I'm writing down the steps, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so they give us some summary of statistics. So this is my statistics for my sample. We'll need that for our calculator in a little bit here. It says use a 0.01 significance level, that's step 4, to test a claim that earthquakes are from a population with a mean equal to 5. Okay, so step 1, again, this is step right here, is write down the claim in Zabog form. Step 2 is write down the opposite. Step 3 is determine the null and the alternative. That would be this one right here. Remember, the null always has the equal sign, the alternative always has something other than equal sign. So it should be either greater than, less than, or not equal to. Step 4 is pick the significance level. Steps 5, in step 6, you identify the test statistic and the p-value. We're going to use a calculator to do this. So I'm going to switch to showing my calculator on here. Okay, so I'm going to clear it out here. I'm going to go to stat, test, and then t-test. My mu0 is the mean from the null hypothesis, so that comes from right here. Then n x bar and s comes from up here. And then I want to pick the same sign as the alternative hypothesis. Whoops, I'm sorry, you can't see it. Which is not equal to for this part. If I go to calculate, this number right here is my test statistic. And this is my p-value. Now notice this p-value is e to the negative 5. So what that means is I take this decimal place and I move it 5 places to the left. If I round that, that'll come out to be 0. Okay, so I paused the video and I went ahead and wrote down the p-value, how it shows up in the calculator. This is scientific notation. It means 10 to the negative 5th. So that means I'm going to take my decimal place right here and move it 5 places to the left. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The homework asked me to round this 3 places. So if I round it 3 places, which is right there, it actually comes out to be 0. Okay, so now we're up to the step 6 right here. Actually, I guess we already did step 6. So now we want to do step 7, decide if we reject the null or not. Reject it if the p-value is less than alpha. Fail to reject if it's greater than. Okay, so let me kind of write down here, step 6. We compare the p-value with alpha. Here's the p-value. Well, actually, here's the p-value. It's just 0. And then alpha they gave us at the very top here. It is right here. That's my significance level. In this case, the p-value was smaller. So since it's smaller, less than or equal to, I am going to reject the null. And then for the conclusion, again, for this last step, to kind of help you with that, you can always fall back on this. So the original claim, this is the original claim, does have an equal sign, and we rejected the null. So it does have an equal sign, so that'd be these two. And we did reject it. So it should be there is sufficient evidence to warrant rejection of that claim. So there's sufficient evidence to conclude that the original claim of the mean is not correct. They said it a little bit differently, but it's kind of the same thing here. You're saying you reject the original claim. This is the original claim. This is saying that this claim is not correct. Okay, so that's it for number 22 from 8.3. Okay, to clarify, this is from section 8.3, but it's the homework problem number 22 from the chapter 8.